Hello and welcome to another episode of Sports and Songs Podcast, Season 7, episode number 27 tonight. It's a Songs edition. Andy, how are you?
Good. How about you?
Good. It's May 14th, 2026. We don't have a typical album review tonight, but we've got a focus on music, Songs edition special. Not a bonus episode, but a special episode.
Special birthday episode for a singer that isn't one of my favorites, but I really enjoy their music. Okay, how's that sound?
Okay.
It's kind of like fried chicken from the buffet. Not my favorite meal, but I enjoy it.
Nice. Like the analogy.
Like that there?
Yes.
Before we get into it, first of all, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And remember, if you're going to comment, make it something stupid, or don't make it something stupid, because then I just got to delete it. So just make it something sensible and worthwhile.
Yes.
Tom Cochrane, Thomas William Cochrane's birthday today. 73 candles on his cake today, if they gave him a cake. I don't know if they did or not. They're Canadian. I don't know what they do. Maybe they went fishing. I don't know.
Hey?
Hockey game, maybe. Beauty. All right. We'll start here with Tom Cochrane. He was born again in a mining town in Lynn Lake, Manitoba. His father was a bush pilot. When he was 4 years old, the family moved to Octon, Ontario, and then to, I can't pronounce it, but a town that's now known as Toronto. So he's a Canadian boy through and through. He's a member of the Canadian Music Hall of Fame, officer in the Order of Canada, and an honorary doctorate at Brandon University. In September 2009, he was inducted into Canada's Walk of Fame. So he's kind of a big deal up there. I'd kind of put him up there like with Bryan Adams in Canada, Anne Murray, stuff like that. Rush, people like that. Okay, he started out with a little band called Red Rider. Lunatic Fringe is probably the song you've all heard and recognized Red Rider for, at least here in the States. After meeting a guy at a tavern in Toronto, Cochrane joined the Canadian rock band Red Rider in 1978 and served as their lead singer and main songwriter for more than 10 years. Bruce Allen managed the band for their debut until 1985. Cochrane recorded 6 studio albums with Red Rider, plus a live album, a best-of album, and a box set. By 1986, the band had been billed as Tom Cochrane and Red Rider. He would later refer to this period of his career as a stretch of manageable success before the release of The Mad, Mad World. In 2002, Cochrane reunited with his former Rider bandmates, and they continue to perform. So he still tours up in Canada with them, sometimes as Red Rider, sometimes as him. Already a household name in Canada from his time with Red Rider, he launched his solo career in 1991 with the release of the song Life is a Highway. Yes, he originally did that song in 1991. I'll get to that later.
Wow.
The single became a global success and was followed up by the release of the album Mad, Mad World, which would reach 6 million mark in worldwide sales. The albums and follow albums, Ragnass Road, Songs of the Circle Spirit, X-Ray Sierra, and No Stranger followed, were other albums of his. Presently, he is an avid golfer, pilot, and, go figure, a hockey buff up in Canada. He lives in British Columbia and spends most of his summers at his cottage and studio in Northern Ontario. He has 2 daughters. He continues to tour and perform in Canada. In 2006, the group Rascal Flatts charted the top 10 of the Hot 100 with the cover of Life is a Highway, which they recorded for the Pixar film Cars. Although the song was not originally released to country radio, several country stations began playing the song, causing it to chart within the top 20 hot country songs. Chris Ledoux had also a country hit with Life is a Highway. I'm going to stop right there. Like I said, I like Tom Cochrane a lot. I've liked him with Red Rider. I really enjoy his music. I got no problem with Chris Ledoux doing it because Chris Ledoux, in my opinion, is one of those singers that could sing anyone's song if he wants. He didn't rub me wrong, or I wasn't a fan of his either. I could care less what he did. Respected his music, but I wasn't really a fan. But this other band redid the song for the movie. The song "Life is a Highway." You cannot have a man with that high a feminine voice singing that song. It kind of takes everything away from it, in
Okay.
my opinion. Not saying it got to be a gruff, rah 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 type song, but he's got too much of a happy life. Oh, hi. No, the song it didn't work. It didn't work, and it to me ruined the song. Yes, I'm kind of glad when some of these songs are remade, kind of brings the next generation. But when someone's singing a totally different octave, totally just not doing the song any justice by totally changing it like that, they ruin the song. And now people are like, well, I don't want to hear the original. I've heard this one.
Yeah.
To me, they ruin the song. Anyway, carry on. In October of 2016, Cochrane celebrated the 25th anniversary of the album Mad Mad World with the announcement and release of a special edition of the album, featuring a demo recording of Life as a Highway, the working title of Life as a Highway, as well as a second disc featuring live performances from a 92 Chicago stop where they were recording. This is my other problem here with stuff. I feel bad for Tom Cochrane because this was his one solo hit here in the States. So everything's going to be focused around this song. The man had so many other songs that people just never heard. They forget he was with Red Rider and the songs they had there, and he just kind of got pigeonholed on this one song. Kind of like John Parr was saying Almost Fire. Hey, you're the same Almost Fire guy. Sing that again. The man has a list of other songs. You know. Some honors Tom Cochrane has. He's Canadian Songwriters Hall of Fame. That was in 2024. Canadian Music Hall of Fame induction. He has that. Jeff Healey gave a speech for him at the Juno Awards in 2003. Order of Canada. Cochrane received one of the highest honors for Canadian citizen when he was invested as an officer in the Order of Canada, a level companion to the Order of Canadian is the highest honor, and several people originally invested as officers have been promoted throughout this through charity work, with the arts, among other fields. So to be honored the Order of Canada is like a big deal. They don't just like hand those out. He was honored for his lifetime of charity work as contributions to the arts and for being Canadian. Canada's Walk of Fame. In September of 2009, Cochrane was inducted into Canada's Walk of Fame. The induction was highlighted by a 2-hour nationally televised gala at Toronto's Four Seasons Centre of the Performing Arts. Anne Murray hosted the event, which included inductions of Kim Cattrall, Raymond Burr, Blue Rodeo, Howie Mandel, and some other people I've never heard of, but those are the names you guys would recognize. I keep forgetting Howie Mandel is Canadian. That slips my mind. Honorary Colonel in November of 2007. He was formally invested as an honorary colonel in the Royal Canadian Air Force, the 409 Nighthawks Tactical Fighter Squadron. As part of this weekend, Cochrane experienced his second flight in a CF-18. He's got his honorary doctorate, like most famous people do get a doctorate elsewhere. Canadian Music Industry Hall of Fame. He's in that. Cochrane was inducted May 9th of 2014. Gil Moore, formerly of the band Triumph, made the presentation. Canadian Music Industry Humanitarian Award. He got that in 2005. The Alan Walters Humanitarian Award. He got that in 2013 at the Juno Awards. Juno Awards is their music awards, like our whatever our music awards are called here. He's got some other stuff. Order of Manitoba, he's received that. His discography, other albums he's done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 solo albums. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a handful with Red Rider, and some with Tom Cochrane and Red Rider. So he's got more than just the one song. In fact, here's his charts numbers here. Life was a Highway hit number 1 in Canada, 6 here in the States. No Regrets was number 3 in Canada, didn't chart here. Sinking Like a Sunset, number 2 in Canada, didn't chart here. So he was a big deal in Canada. Unfortunately, nothing else carried over here. Red Rider, Lunatic Fringe, made number 11 here in the States. Power, Strength, and Numbers from Lunatic Fringe in 83 reached number 13. Big League in 88 reached number 9. So he's had some top 10 hits. He's had some good songs, especially, like I said, in Canada. Just he demand up there. Again, with Anne Murray, Bryan Adams, stuff like that. He is well recognized, well respected, well liked up north, Like I said, birthday today for him. So birthday boy, that's what we thought we'd do this one special for him. I kind of wanted to do the Life as a Highway or a Red Rider album. I was looking at Too Much to Do. Then I saw, hey, his birthday is the 14th. That's a Thursday. Boom. Bonus episode or special episode. Because I couldn't decide which one I wanted to do. I'm doing more information. I said, hey, we won't do an album this week. Let's do a guy, an artist.
Artist of the week, Tom Cochrane. So Lunatic Fringe, truth be known, one of my first ever favorite songs that I've ever had as a youth. Lunatic Fringe was one of those that still to this day is one of my favorite songs of all time.
Do you know the meaning of the song?
No. I did not look up the lyrics. I know that he was writing it around the John Lennon assassination, and then he put the demo to last night.
Look up your history. Same night. Your history on Nazi prison camps.
Okay.
Lunatic Fringe, stuff like that. So yes,
really okay. So he recorded
search it on YouTube and Google it. That's a whole nother half hour.
I'd like to look up that whole meaning. And
yeah, it's kind of a deep thing. I was going to do more on it. I can't do it any justice. I'm not a real big historian, so I would just be reading words. Watch other YouTube videos. Watch other specials on it. The people who are invested in it can give you more in depth on it than I could.
Oh, very good. And hopefully maybe someone will comment on it because that is just tremendous. And when they took that song to the record label, they said, we're not going to release that. It's not commercial enough. It's not radio friendly enough. And they said, no, push it forward. We're going to do it. And it just took off. Because
the first few seconds of the song, you're like, do I have the volume on? What is, it's real quiet and eerie. So
yeah, it's one of my favorite. You mentioned Red Rider. Most people think of Lunatic Fringe. Unbelievable. Very good stuff.
Yep.
So leave your comments down below if you have anything or any further information on Mr. Cochrane. It's his birthday today. Happy birthday to him. Very well known in Canada. Very popular in Canada. Is a big deal. The crossover just didn't make it across the border, it seems.
Yeah, which is really weird. And you see, like this one guy I follow, we've shared some on our page, 45 of the day. Some of his stuff we shared on Facebook. How many artists are American artists that do great in the UK and nothing here? Or British artists that do great here and nothing back home?
Yep.
You look at 80s rock right now, how it's still so big in Europe and Japan and stuff like that. How many of his bands are still doing good there? Don Dokken got to start there, came here, did okay, but he's still a big deal in Japan. Marty Friedman.
Yep.
Left Megadeth and look at the career he's having in Japan now. Those guys, just sometimes some things stick in certain areas, some don't. David Hasselhoff, big in Germany. Baywatch here. So,
Good stuff. Thanks for the update, Andy. Tom Cochrane, do your research, do a little looking up, and leave a comment here if you need to. Yep. And we'll see you next Thursday.
Bye.
Have a good week.